Hey guys, it's Amy's Artistic Galore, and in this video I'm going to be giving you my life update about my medical visit that I had not too long ago of being diagnosed with anemia and low iron deficiency. But not only that, I was diagnosed with RSL, restless leg syndrome. I barely know what that is myself, and just so you know, I'm not a medical professional by any means, so I'm just speaking from my experience on what I went through. I thought I had a very detailed, thorough visit with the doctor that I was seeing. I was sadly very mistaken. Besides my latest diagnoses and my ferritin being measured at 20. You can check it out yourself in a shorts video. I'll link it down in the description box below. Not too long ago, I checked out the information on what was discussed during the visit, and a lot of it involved misinformation, what I didn't say. I'm going to leave out names, obviously, for everyone's privacy, but I'm also going to be leaving out a lot of other personal information. Please respect that. So, with that all being said, I'm going to read off some of the things from my phone. The patient denies current concerns for chest pain, racing pulse, palpitations. That was very inaccurate. I don't know why they felt the need to put that in when I was very specific about my POTS syndrome, which I've talked about on here, you guys. So then you know what I have symptoms-wise. The patient denies current concerns for headache, dizziness, weakness, concentration problems. And this makes me so upset, because I deal with headaches, I get migraines still, and I get dizzy, lightheaded, and I get weak. I deal with those symptoms a fair amount, and while they have gotten better to a degree, but I never specified about oh yeah, they've gotten better or they're all gone now. And I mentioned that I have POTS syndrome multiple times. And pulmonary, for example, it says in the message that the patient denies current concern for cough, shortness of breath, or wheezing. Okay, for coughing, that's not really a thing that I get, or unless if I'm getting the cold or the flu. Besides that, I do get shortness of breath, and I do it's hard for me to breathe sometimes. And the message, it also said that I take caffeine 8 hours before bedtime. I do not. That can mess with your nervous system, and it'll make your brain feel awake for a long time just by you thinking that I'm sure it'll be okay. No, I don't have caffeine 8 hours before bed because it's going to mess with my REM more than my REM's already a problem enough as it is. Lacking in sleep. But I specifically told the doctor that I drink decaffeinated teas around afternoon, evening, and nighttime. Peppermint tea, green tea, ginger, lemon tea. Strangely enough, even though I was diagnosed with anemia and iron deficiency, it wasn't discussed in detail of this will be the future plans, or there was possibility of discussion of taking IV iron transfusions. And why I mentioned that was because only my diagnosis was mentioned a very small amount. Nothing about healthcare for the near future. So that was, I think, a huge red flag in my book, at least. I don't know about for you guys if you've ever experienced anything like that. If you have, I'm so sorry. But I discussed that I would be much more comfortable doing IV iron transfusions, and that's not for content or for like whatever reasons. 7 years ago, I had low ferritin at 10. That is extremely low. And 20 is still low too. But when I was prescribed some iron pills, it did not help me. I got super nauseous. I find it overall a real shame that some patients have to deal with stuff like this. And I find it more common in the chronic illness community, people who deal with chronic issues. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, but it is a huge red flag to say one thing and then do another to a patient. Does that make sense? And what I find really strange, I'd like to know your opinion on this actually, but I was supposed to be prescribed a sleep medication to help with my insomnia, and I haven't gotten any sleep medication in almost a week. And I have another follow-up with them, but I'm thinking about going somewhere different, honestly, at this point, because I have high standards when it comes to the medical industry and a lot of other things. And I've gotten a lot of misinformation in my message about the, if you can call it an appointment, whatever that was, honestly. That doesn't mean I'm going to not bother trying to get my iron levels up. No, like I am working that on it, I promise you. Because whether it was a systematic error or if there's some communication gap that I'm not aware of, I'm gonna explain my situation to my current doctor and see what our thoughts are and see what else we can do so I can get better, at least to a degree. But whatever route I go to when it comes to getting my iron levels fixed, that I will be making a video on. I don't know what it will be. I hope it's something soon, though. And that is all for now. I will see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed my life update / medical. That is all for now. Bye.